like to talk about injuries, but I recently shared a video of my knee getting drained because Sara McMann's running around issuing out this open challenge to everybody in the weight class apparently, and I just don't want anyone to think that I'm not taking it because I don't want to take it. I'll take it. I'm all over it. I just have to take care of my health and get my stuff back together. But I felt like it was time to let everybody know, all the fans, why I haven't been putting my name out there, why I'm not in the mix right now, and it's just because I'm making sure I can be 100% so I can come out and give the best fight when it's time.
You're smiling regarding Sara's comments. Do you find them comical, or are you just naturally smiling all the time?
I smile all the time. It's a little bit comical because, you know, it got carried on a whole bunch of things. Like I saw the reports show up everywhere, like, oh, nobody will fight her, and I'm like, look, I will, right here. I would be jumping up and down and, you know, saying, put me in, coach. But, you know, I just have to be 100%. It's the only thing that's fair to myself. It's the only thing fair to my opponent and to the fans, is to make sure that I'm 100% before I can go back in. But yeah, I was laughing. I'm the halfway a natural smiler, halfway finding it amusing.
How do you match up with Sara stylistically? And is that a fight that you would actively pursue at this point?
Yeah, I would love to fight her. I would definitely. I said a couple things, and I mean, if someone's gonna make a call out like that, then hopefully she's gonna live up to it when I'm ready to fight. But I think that I match up to her really well because, you know, I come forward. I feel good about it. I feel really good about training with the people that I've trained with and the skills that I've honed at this point, that they match up really well with her.
Funny story, I was talking to Nate Diaz the other day, and he recalls the very first time he saw you at Cesar Gracie's gym during fighter training, and he always talks about how girls sometimes, you know, the ones that want to fight, he doesn't know if they necessarily want to fight, but he said as soon as he invited you on the mat, you were stoked to be there, and you were there every day from that point on. Do you recall that first time that you remember training with those guys?
Dude, that was like the most meaningful thing like ever. Nate Diaz will always have a super special place in my heart for that. I had just moved out to the Bay Area and I didn't have a team figured out yet, so I was just like, okay, I'll just train wherever I can, and then I found Cesar's gym, and I was going there, but I didn't have enough money for whatever, so I was like doing the cleaning crew and being a sparring partner just so I could get out there. And one day they had a fighter training practice, and I was walking by, and I was just like, man, I wish I was there. And Nate walked by, and he was like, how's it going? I was like, it'd be way better if I was on that mat. And he was like, hop on, you can just hop on. That was like, that was the most wonderful thing that could have happened, because it's the whole reason that I moved out there. And so like that was like the, whoa, it's working. I like made all these sacrifices in my life to become a fighter, and then that moment stepping onto the mat with all those guys at the fighter training practice was epic.
You talked about you know, just your pay and everything like that back in the day. How has it changed to now, and are you happy with the UFC's fighter pay at the current moment? Cut.
The fighter pay, I made more money last year fighting for the UFC than I ever have in my entire life. So in a way, I'm like, man, you know, I wouldn't want to be down on that because I really appreciate the opportunity. But at the same time, I also do see what the gates are bringing in and what the pay-per-views are bringing in, and I'm hearing the stories, and I'm seeing, you know, that the fighters aren't getting paid the percentage of the whole game, which is a lot of money. And so that'd be a wonderful thing to see change.
Well, just talk about how hard it is to go through a fight camp on the current, you know, like what it takes. You know, you have to pay your management, your gym, you know, all the training fees and everything like that. Do you make enough to make it worth it to go through that 3-month fighting camp?
It's a tough thing to do. You have to really like it, and then you have to like it enough to make yourself not like it. But without having money, you know, because if you're gonna do it for real, 100%, then it's really hard to keep a job going. So you get rid of your job so you can have enough time so you can train, but then you need money for the highest quality food that you can get. You need to figure out a place close to your gym where you can sleep. You need to figure out the recovery. Sometimes when you're a fighter, like seeing an acupuncturist and a massage therapist and a chiropractor, it's not a luxury, it's a necessity, and you have to find those things. And doing that, you know, say I fought maybe I got like $10,000 for a fight. I pay out everybody else. By the end of having my celebratory dinner, I've got maybe $3,000 left. And then I'm like, okay, how am I gonna make this work for the next 3 months? Assuming that I even get a fight to like work towards in 3 months, and so the best food, driving to and from training all the time, because you can't be thinking about that, like you just have to be on top of it. It makes it a hard thing to do with small amounts of money.
So is this Reebok deal helping or hurting you?
It's hurting me. If it helps fighters in the whole scheme of things, then me being a fighter, maybe it'll help me. You know, if it brings about like more mainstream coverage and a union and higher fighter pay and everything else that would benefit the fighter and benefit the industry, then it's helping me. But I haven't seen any of that yet. At this point, I just know that my cap for like sponsorship stuff is $2,500, which is not so hot.